Whew, man, just taking a water break. I've spent the last few days pressure washing my deck, getting all the old paint off, and now I'm with the help of my dad, who painted about a third of this, or about half of this. I am painting this thing. Slow going. I was going to sand it down and stain it, but I realized I had 5 gallons of deck over in my garage already, so I might as well just pressure wash it and then just take care of business. So it'll be good for another couple years. Yeah, I did this in 2013, and then it went through 2 winters, and it was not looking good. I'm hoping once we're going to, as you guys know, as I've said many a time, we're about to drop into another recession, as I said, and when that occurs, at least if it's anything like last time, the recession will decrease the price of building materials like deck planks and stuff like that. And I've had my eye on some of those plastic 30-year no discoloration guaranteed deck planks that I guess they're made out of recycled bottles or something. But basically that would be a pretty good deal. I would never have to paint it again, because I doubt I'll last another 30 years. Let me see, 50. I might last 30 years, but I probably won't be here 30 years. Okay, just a couple things I wanted to quickly mention that I have sort of mentioned before, but this is a new take on it. As you guys all know, I'm into Bitcoins, and I observed, and it was my theory, that when economic scary times occurred, Bitcoins would go up in price. And just as I predicted, when Greece started blowing up about a month ago, the price went up about 30%, down from like 230 or 235 or so up to about 315 at the max. And then as the Greece situation stabilized and sort of normalized, and it looked like it wasn't going to be like Mad Max, at least not for a while. When that occurred, Bitcoin started going back down again, and I think they're around 365, 370 right now. But I mean, if I wanted to trade, I could put my Bitcoins into an exchange and then do things like watching the price and watching for these increases, but that's just not the way I do business. I'm a long-term buy and hold kind of guy. I've discovered during Y2K and a couple other times that I cannot trade for shit. So basically, it is my opinion, and it's been backed up by one example now, that Bitcoins will go up in price when economic chaos occurs. Now, as I said before, we're dropping into the next recession. It's in the 8-year cycle, and it'll be like 3 or 4 years of declines and a lot of fear and chaos and stock market crashes and layoffs, and basically the society will have to tighten its belt a little bit. And if there isn't a giant SHTF, we will bottom just like we did in 2011-ish, and then start climbing out the other side, probably less wealthy than we are now, but that will be the new normal. So when that occurs, precious metals and Bitcoin will probably start to normalize and drop down a little bit. But during the next 3 years, I expect them both to go up. Now, right now, the bankers have silver tied down, and they're just having their way with it, like some kind of sadistic X-rated movie, right? And basically, silver is down to like 14 something, or at least it was this morning. Now, the basically the bankers have almost complete control over the paper price, and they can just create all the paper silver they want and dump it into the market. But when we have economic hard times and scary times like with this Greece thing, something's got to give. They're going to push the price down, and then supply will dry up. And just recently, the bankers pushed the price down, and people started really buying silver because of the instability in the world. And now the U.S. Mint no longer produces silver eagles, right? So basically, in time, as more chaos develops in the market, we are going to see pressure on the silver, the physical silver price, and eventually the two prices, if the bankers don't relax the hold a little bit like they did in 2011. If they don't let up on the manipulation of the silver, then a new market will form for the physical silver, and then the paper silver, which is supposedly selling physical silver, will become irrelevant, and they will lose control completely over silver. Now, if that happens, they might use government force to regain control by seizure or something like that. But it would have to get pretty bad for that to happen, so we shall see. But basically, the bankers will, if my observations are correct, they're going to see the physical price, the supply dry up, and then a new market, just as it did in 2011. Like, people were selling silver on eBay for like a serious premium over the spot price, the paper price, and the bidding action on eBay started making a new silver market and a new silver price. And then miraculously the bankers apparently started allowing the silver price to go up. They would let it go up to like 20, and then they'd drop it down, then it would go up to 25, and eventually it topped out at around 44, and there was a meaningless little blip of it being about $50 an ounce. But that occurred in 2011. Now, I kind of wished at that time that I had found my house, because then I could have cashed in silver at $40 an ounce instead of $34 an ounce. But when the market bottomed in real estate, the precious metal price was already starting to go back down. And so I just cashed in at 34 and put the down payment on the house, and then and now that it's cheap again, silver that is, I'm purchasing silver again. MGTOW are people who are sort of fighting against the system, the gynocentric system, the feminist system, the bureaucracy, the family courts, all that stuff. And many of us are also sort of going our own way economically as well, with things like silver especially, and some of us are into Bitcoin. But anyway, my observations seem to indicate, and they've been vindicated this most recent time, that when there is chaos and fear in the market, we will have an increase in the Bitcoin price. So I plan to be on board on this next big, huge leg up. And we're also seeing an increase in the adoption rate, and when we get into a situation where the bankers and the governments of other countries, and hopefully not this one right away, but they'll start stealing money out of bank accounts and revaluing bank accounts and seizing, doing their bail-ins and stuff. And when that occurs, money that is outside of government control and banker control will be in demand. And then those people who have bitcoins in paper wallets are likely to profit handsomely. So that's what I'm up to. And yeah, so if anybody wants any help on getting familiar with this, I might have a few pointers for them. So I have blathered on long enough. I got to get back to this deck. So I will see you later.